It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
Car con carne. It's a Friday night, still sheltering in place. It's Quarantine Con Carne, sponsored by C&H Financial Services. I'm James Van Alstyne, surrounded tonight from places near and far, the members of Western Automatic. I have Alex, I have Ben, I have Jake, I have Sam, I have Dave, all joining me from different locations. I should say Dave looks like he has a pretty sweet, is that a home studio setup?
Yeah, I've been bunkering down in my parents' basement and kind of reliving my high school experience and set up a little space down here. It's been pretty great.
Did you just go into your parents' basement because of COVID? I mean, you can be honest. Have you been living there all along?
Well, I'll plead the fifth on that one. I've been in California mostly, actually, and so I've been back here and decided to make the most of it, I guess.
Nice to meet you all. And Jake, where are you at?
I'm in my car right now. I'm currently in Bridgeview. I'm not driving, by the way. Currently in Bridgeview watching a drive-in movie right now. It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Nice. The Chicago Drive-In over at SeaPeak Stadium.
Yep. I'm looking right at it, actually.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So you have it. Doesn't the movie start soon?
It's actually just started. Just now.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out, by the way.
Great interview.
Yeah. Well, we hit all who you are, name of the band. So I thought it was a good time to have you on. You just put out an EP about a month ago, The Fugitive, which is really good.
Oh, thank you.
One of the ongoing discussions I have with musicians, with local bands through this whole pandemic period is whether or not to release music. There are two schools of thought. One being, let's wait until we can tour and support it. The other being, no, let's get the content out there. Obviously, you're of the latter. Was this something you discussed, or was it just, okay, we've got music, let's put it out, you didn't think about it?
I'd like to take this one if I could. We had a huge advantage in this case, I think, over a lot of people, over just in terms of really not knowing what the hell we're doing. So we recorded.
That's great.
It is our style, yes. Yeah.
That's what I have to put up with every day.
Yeah. we recorded the EP and we put all of this time and money into this music that we truly, deeply, madly believe in. And all of this stuff happened. And we got stuck indoors literally right before we were planning on releasing it, and we all just kind of looked at each other and said, well, we can't play any of the shows. Dave is stuck in California. None of us can go outside. Fuck it. And so we just put it out, and it actually, I mean, who knows, because we don't really get to see what happened, what would have happened the other way. But for a band that can't tour right now because our drummer is on the other side of the country, it worked out okay, I think.
Well, I think it sounds great. It kicks off with Lemon Party. Those big guitars take you right into it. And guitars are your thing. You make the guitar a very sexy instrument. Desert Eye, another great song. But I want to jump ahead on the EP to Stillness in the Void, which to me has the most visual sound on the EP. It has a very cinematic way of rising and falling with a sense of drama and tension. Why don't you tell me about that song?
I'll take this one, if that's okay.
Go for it.
I think this was one of the first songs. So I've been in the band for, what now, like 2.5 years, maybe close to 3. And this was one of the first songs that I kind of saw come to fruition, I would say. And I think it really exemplifies like what our strengths are as a band, and what our, all of our individual parts, how it comes together. And this wasn't really a song that I felt that we really thought about too much. It just kind of came out of thin air, I would say. Like, it just started with one of us playing a riff, and we started building upon it. And then the next time we came around, it started kind of the same way. And so it slowly turned into a song. And we all just added our own flavor to it. And now we have an ensemble. And I feel like that represents us in a great way. I'm not sure if anybody else has anything to add to that, but it was, to me, I think a great moment for us as a band. Whenever the first time we played that song, like I remember us all looking at each other and thought like, that actually worked, which is a fun moment with the group of guys.
Yeah. I think that was, cause I was Jake's the most recent member of the band, and there was another bass player working for a while before then. And I was, I guess, the second most recent, but I think Stillness was we had a lot of riffs, but I think Stillness was the first song that all of us settled on. I think you're totally right. I think we had been passing things around and writing things and arranging things, but that song clicked first, and that kind of kicked off the rest of the songs to be finished.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Alex.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely songs where we come in, or like one of us will just say, okay, this is a piece or this is a part, and we're, hey, I have this idea. And that one, it was 100% just everybody contributing all at once, and it just came together,
It provides a nice balance on the EP, and texturally, the songs kind of come in and out with different style and vibes. There's a more melancholy, quieter song on the EP called Run, which sounds like it could be the results of kind of a bad time. Tell me about that one.
Yeah. So Run was one that I had demoed up on a 2-track tape machine a while back, and it sounded super different. Yeah, it was written about, some failed relationships and stuff a long time ago. I've been happily married for a long time now, so it's nothing to do with my wife or any of that, but it was about, it's about recognizing the things in yourself that are not so great, and maybe not wanting to be that person anymore. And I think it's pretty self-evident. I don't want to dwell on that, but I don't like going super deep into that stuff. That's what the music's for. But that song was recorded completely, like in its entirety, and we were gonna release it maybe 2 years ago.
About that.
Yeah, and it just didn't feel right. It didn't quite fit, and the arrangement wasn't quite the same, and it just didn't work. It's one of those things where, like, you can put all the work in the world into something and recognize that even if you put all the time in, if the feeling isn't there, if the vibe isn't right, then you just can't do it. So we had to scrap that and just start over from scratch in this session, and we cut all, this whole EP was cut live, and then we just put some overdubs over it with most of it. I think the bass and the drums and all of that was 100% live, and then we just overtracked some of the other stuff. But Run was this one. It turned out so much better, and that was, for me, I was so happy when we finished that, because I had cut versions of that song so many times before we landed on this, and that was one where as soon as it was done, as soon as we finished the mix, I just like breathed a sigh of relief, and I was like, I can walk away. It's done. It's there. It's out in the world.
Finally check that box.
I enjoyed that story because I always thought you were just writing a song for a Nike commercial or something like that.
Yeah. The original title was, "Hey man, let's do it."
Like LeBron James.
Wait.
Yeah. We're really trying to sell out. I'm just kidding.
We've made every attempt. People just aren't paying us for it.
Yeah.
The
If something
guitar,
comes out of this, I wouldn't oppose that for sure.
the guitar is a glorious and wonderful instrument, and you guys make it front and center in what you do. I've been saying this for a while. I'm sure you will agree with me. Guitar-based music, rock, is due for some kind of resurgence, yes? At least on a popular cultural level?
I think
Your
so.
hopes
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
You assume that everything goes in cycles, and history shows that it has musically. We're ready for some big guitar renaissance, so you guys are poised. You've got them front and
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many.
We'll hope.
Oh. No. Little glitch.
Take it, Dave. Go.
over each
Go,
other.
Dave.
No, it's fine. No, there's going through all these different these phases, right? There's the phase of everybody gets drums on stage, right? There's floor toms everywhere. And then it's everyone gets keyboards on stage, and everyone's got a keyboard or MIDI controller. And then it's everyone has laptops on stage, and at a certain point it has to kind of circle back. And it seems like live instruments on stage, no matter what else is going on, is important and due for its thing.
Alex is known for some wizardry as far as guitar goes. Here's the thing. Once we all started sheltering in place, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this podcast every night. I need to focus. I also need another hobby. So I thought, I'm going to, for the first time in my life, try to learn how to play guitar. So I got myself an acoustic Fender. I've been practicing 30 minutes a night. I've been taking like the Fender play lessons. And 2 months later, I'm as good as you can get at 2 months. Before we sat down tonight, I decided to rewatch the 100 Riffs video that Alex did like 8 years ago. And my lasting thought was, well, fuck, I give up. This is there's nothing I can do here. That still gets attention. And for people who don't know, you played 100 iconic riffs from the birth of rock and roll through the present day. That video had to help the band in the early days, didn't it?
I don't know. I think there were maybe 1 or 2 shows after that came out where we had a bunch of guys that showed up. We're like, oh, it's 100 riffs, because the promoters had pumped that, and they were really disappointed that we weren't a classic rock cover band.
Although almost every rehearsal we've ever had has been a classic rock cover band by accident.
Oh, I mean, by beer 3 it is, yeah. It all devolves into, hey, what songs do you guys know? And then we turn into the world's worst GNR cover band. Yeah.
We have blasted through Sweet Child of Mine on just a whim once or twice. So yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just noticed your zoomed in, by the way. That's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. My only contribution to that would be the slash, hair sort of thing. Don't put me on guitar.
And the funny thing is, Sam had a crew cut before COVID.
He did. It grows really fast.
Yeah. And of course, when 100 Riffs was a thing, everyone had omissions like, how come you didn't do this one or that one? I just want to throw in belatedly 8 years later, I want to be your dog. Just saying.
Man, I totally blew it on the Stooges. That's on me. I didn't think anybody would watch it. I just did it.
You never expect something to go large and viral like that. There's no way to participate.
I put it together over the course of 2 weeks in the garden apartment that I lived in at the time. And I was on a work trip in California, and one of the people on the trip or somebody had emailed me and said, hey, this thing is at like 40,000 views. I'm like, oh, wow, that's awesome. And then I closed my computer, and then I walked away, and then I came back home, 4 or 5 days later, and they're like, oh, it's at like 500,000 views. I'm like, what? Huh? What's going on? And then there we go.
And for perspective, I think we're at like 50 views for this live stream right now.
That's, what? I'll take it. Like, we're at 50. That's success, man.
It's, it's that old marketing adage, small groups of highly interested people. You don't need a big mass audience, just people who really give a shit.
Yep.
I would so much rather have 10 people like the music that we write and put out in the world than 10,000 people watching some nonsense that, I put out on YouTube. All right.
I know what you mean. But since you're clearly music fans, and since we're still all at home, now's a good time to talk about something that's not Western Automatic specific, but let's talk about music. Let's talk about, for those of us who are stuck at home, what's that one indispensable album that you would not be able to get through quarantine without? And let's just start with Ben, because he's in my top left corner.
Man, that's a tough call. I'd say I could tell you what I'm listening to right now is this group called Tropical Fuckstorm from Australia. It's just off the wall, like garage rock, and there's something about it. It's just weird and bizarre, and I love it.
You're not making this up?
I'm sorry, you broke up. What's that?
You're not making this up?
I'm not making this up.
Didn't they do a Tiny Desk?
They might have, yeah.
I'm joking. I doubt they did a Tiny Desk.
Dude, I don't know. They might have.
It's great. Ben and I play in another band, a different project as well. And I remember being on the road at 3 a.m. driving in the van and hearing some insane music and having no idea what the hell it was, and then asking him what the band name was, and it was Tropical Fuckstorm. We all thought he was lying.
That's amazing. All right, so Dave, what's your one quarantine album?
Well, I teach a lot of drum lessons, and I've been doing that video wise. So I find a lot of the stuff I listen to is as a result of what my students are giving me. So it ends up being a combination of stuff that I've listened to a long time and brand new stuff. So honestly, I've been listening to that new like Harry Styles record, believe it or not.
Oh, it's not bad.
No, it's so good. And it's like, it's got real instruments and there's an actual band, and I have a bunch of students playing those songs. So that one's been on repeat for a while.
What's interesting in this interview, we all have different lighting wherever we are. The darker it gets where Jake is, the more he's starting to look like Mark Ruffalo from the Avengers movie.
Oh,
So don't make him angry.
you're not wrong.
There it is.
I can fix this.
All right.
That.
Oh,
Now go back.
Production.
It was better before.
Yeah, turn it off.
There we go.
Turn it off.
So Jake, what do you think?
For me, I've been listening to this. It's more like I guess it's closer to like a pop punk band, but not so much on the pop side. They're called The Story So Far. The album is called Proper Dose. I've just really connected to it. It's kind of like a lot of the music is about being it's kind of alone with your thoughts, which I think is pretty quarantine related. It's called Proper Dose just because it's dealing with like, the things like drinking and smoking weed and like those types of vices that you come across, especially in the music world, and finding that like sweet spot to where it's like not ruining your life and having a negative impact on you, but something that you can enjoy by yourself at the same time. So it's an interesting album. It's very high energy. They're all young guys. They're probably all like 22, 23. So they don't give a shit about any of that stuff quite yet. But
How can you write a record about the sweet spot when you're 23?
I don't know, man.
Sweet spot, believe it or not.
They're in the sweet spot.
I'd say they're past it if they're at.
You think so?
I mean, if you listen to the music, they're definitely past that sweet spot. But that's kind of what it's about. Just kind of like getting ahead of yourself in life, not just with drugs or music or anything like that, but it's kind of like finding that sweet spot in life, and just what that means to you. I feel like they really weren't afraid to talk about. And I'm really into like honest music. I love like knowing like I know the person that's singing it. Like, if you listen to like Guns N' Roses, it's like, yeah, those are like hella sweet riffs and shit, and Slash is awesome. But like, I'm not gonna I don't feel like I know Slash. I couldn't tell you one thing about him other than he's a cartoon character in real life. And I just feel like I love listening to music and knowing and like learning about bands where I feel like if I were to meet them on the street, that I could have a conversation with them. And, whether or not that's real or not, it's a feeling I get when I'm listening to new music. So,
all right, Sam, what's your pick?
So one of the things I set out to do during this quarantine was to learn to play slide guitar and to learn to play bass. And so I actually picked up a bass from Alex and from the CME a couple of weeks or about a month ago. And so rather than listening to an album in particular, I've been listening to a lot of bass, iconic bass lines on different, albums. So I've been listening to a lot of reggae, a lot of Bob Marley, a lot of Dave Matthews, and some Beatles stuff. Hoping to learn a thing or two and steal Jake's job.
You know who my favorite bass player is? Any keyboard player's left hand.
That's right.
I don't know about
Great.
that.
That's a terrible joke, but what are you gonna do?
Your choice.
So that's basically it.
Well, what about you, James? What are you listening to?
Oh, no, you're not supposed to turn the tables on me.
I'm just gonna do it just once.
Boom.
It's the Wild West out here, James.
I'll give you a local band album that I've been listening to a lot lately. The Rookie album on Bloodshot, I think, is breezy, guitar-based stuff. I mean, I think they kind of got they're in a bad spot. They put the album out just as quarantine happened. They were really kind of right at that point where they could have made a giant leap forward, and I think they were set back by the quarantine. That album is a fantastic listen. I mean, it's like straight out of 1974. It's wonderful.
Nice.
One of many things. But did we not get you, Alex?
No, that's okay. I'm not offended. I've been going back and forth. There's a friend of mine turned me onto a band called Hiss Golden Messenger, which I feel like I should have known about because apparently they've been going for a long time. But there's a record called Terms of Surrender from, I think, last year that I like quite a bit. So I've been listening to that. That's been on my spin, whatever. I've been putting that on the headphones once or twice a day now for a couple weeks. I'm a big Jenny Lewis fan, and she's doing backups on that, kind of like a Linda Ronstadt, Neil Young kind of thing, like in terms of like backing up. So that's it's really good. It's super poppy, but I dig that one. So I've kind of been going back and forth between that and the newest Tool record, which is an interesting contrast, but it's all about the mood you're in, I guess.
It really is. So if you're just joining us on Facebook Live, this is Western Automatic. The Fugitive is their latest EP. One of the things or topics that has come up over the past few months is how to conduct not how to conduct, but how to move forward through the pandemic. You can't tour. All the usual rules are kind of gone. How do you innovate around the situation and keep the band vibrant? And there may not be a good answer, or you might have an idea of how to move forward or through this.
I think it kind of boils down to everybody's individual efforts on their own, I mean, I know Dave does constantly put stuff out. Alex did a couple of videos with our songs. Just whatever you can do to keep your friends and people who follow you online to sort of engage with what you're doing personally, I think is a start.
Yeah.
The word out about your group, at the same time.
I mean, you guys are plenty active on social media. I still believe that we're on the precipice of some kind of music video renaissance. As bands can't tour, I think creating interesting, compelling videos might become more of a focus for artists. It remains to be seen, but I feel like that's a pretty clear option.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And I think that obviously the music industry is very affected not only by the inability of, going out and touring or performing, but also because quite honestly, musicians are not making any real money from selling albums. But it seems like the way forward is through live streaming, through films, shows, that kind of thing. And I think that obviously technology nowadays, as far as, every one of us has a very sophisticated camera on us at all times. So I think, wasn't it Lady Gaga that released the video entirely made on the iPhone?
Yes.
I believe so,
Maybe.
right?
That's cool.
Yeah. So I think that music videos and music in videos or in film is the way forward.
Definitely. I feel like we should wrap up soon because Jake is so done with this. His movie's already started.
Hey, it's funny I Shrunk the Kids. I've watched it. I actually watched it about 3 months ago, but I've seen it at least 12 times in my life. So trust me.
Are they in the yard yet? Have they shrunk down? And am I ruining this for you? I've
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler, dude, yeah.
But is it a cool experience? Because I had, we talked about the drive-in a couple nights ago on my show. Is it cool being out there?
It's really nice. It's actually really relaxing. There's people just kind of walking around, and I don't know, everybody's just chilling out, sitting on the back of their trucks and whatnot. It's actually really nice.
A little chilly, kind of a cool night to be out there.
A little bit. It was kind of raining earlier, but it's looking pretty clear right now.
All right. So in summary, you are Western Automatic. I love The Fugitive. It's a solid listen, start to finish. I think you guys are great. And when this all passes, let's do this in my car somehow with all five of you.
Awesome. We're in.
Absolutely.
That would be fun.
I want to thank everyone who's been watching on Facebook Live. Let's see, there's Tim and Julia and Amy and Mike and Denise, Molly Jean, Gina, KW, K-Dubs. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to stop the Facebook Live. And once I do that, I'm going to thank you. That was great.
Awesome. Thanks.